What's up, everybody? You guys know me, I'm Vasya. This is Rollo, and I don't think Nick needs an introduction. You guys have all seen him on the YouTubes. So me and Nick just wanted to sit down and do a little Q&A. I know I had some issues the first time I came down with my Nova, and some of you guys were asking me questions about it and wanted to see where everything left off. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get into that, I just want to have you just tell everybody a little brief history about Coachmen. Like, I know Coachmen back in the day. I mean, we got look at this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So this is Coachmen. You know, this is where it started and what it is now. Can you just tell us how we got to here and where the company is?
Yeah, it's kind of neat to see some van heritage here. I don't know the last time I've seen an Astro van, and you know, we got right now the little pop top craze. Well, this was the pop top craze when I was growing up. I'm not saying that I ever camped in one of these, but some nostalgia we found in the B van division, kind of where our roots came from. So pretty neat to see some heritage there. So this was back in the 80s, I believe, and you know, took a pause on the van segment. I believe it was called Coachmen Motorworks, well before my time. Coachmen recently had been purchased by Forest River, an outstanding company. Now, the division, the Class B division, started in 2015. So there was a couple years of where I wasn't around this segment at the beginning. Yeah, I'll get it. So when I got here, we were strictly building on the Mercedes. I got here January 4th, 2017. And we were just introducing a second chassis, the Ford Transit at the time, rear-wheel drive, non-EcoBoost, the old 3.5 engine, the 3.7 engine, non-EcoBoost. We introduced that at the Tampa show in 2017. And it's easy to play armchair quarterback for me to come back around after they let go of the previous GM. He went back into sales. And it's easy to come back in. You know, I don't know that I could have done the job that we've done today if I had to start fresh. Just to be honest, you know, I think through our talks this week, it's always the easiest thing to be an armchair quarterback. So I don't want to think that I'm saying that. So we went with the product that I inherited. And it was good. We had a decent reputation. We were a new player. We had a couple items that were new to the industry. One of them was the implementation of this custom cabinetry, which was something new to the major players of Winnebago, Airstream, Midwest that were already out there.
Yep.
Probably one of the foundations of our build is that cabinetry that you can rely on, both in the heat, both while you're traveling down the road.
Yep.
You know, does it look much different? Is it a different style? Yeah, it is a different style. It's not the modern products that you see out there right now, but I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. It's robust. It's furniture, residential grade, and a big part of our story is bringing residential features into the van to make sure that that we live up to the residential expectations that they have at home.
So basically, the Coachmen Motorworks, as it known before, that kind of stopped. You said there was a hiatus there for a little bit.
I don't know. It wasn't. I just think it just was the market, the times, and they just.
And you guys picked it up, and now what it is today, it's kind of that was the roots of it. This foundation, but it's a whole new enterprise, whole new company, whole new vision under your leadership.
The only thing that changed, I think, is we're building on something with 4 wheels, and it's no slide outs, and no pop tops, no fiberglass tops.
So when you came in here and you took over the Coachmen Class-B, what were some of the challenges that the big challenges that you inherited? I mean, I know you guys have kind of tried to go a different direction from what you see some of the other major manufacturers doing, and you see very similar cabinetry, very similar layouts. For example, the C that's non-existent out there. So what were some of the biggest challenges for you to implement your vision? Because I don't know if people know, you are the designer of these. You're the guy that signed. You don't have like an architecture engineering team giving you plans of this is what I want. You actually said that these are the plans that I want to do, and you had to implement that. So what was some of the stuff that you had to go through to make that happen?
So I do the product, floor plans, decor, and whatnot, but I also rely on my production manager, John, to say, okay, here's my idea. I need you to work my idea into this box. In this box, the chassis can't grow an inch or two.
Right.
So while it's easy for me to just scribble on a napkin, he's got to figure
how to make it.
How to make it.
Bring it to fruition.
And one of the questions that you bring up is how did the C come about? So when we started, let's go back.
Yep.
We had a 24T Mercedes that was a larger fridge, kind of like the C now. Power sofa, 24Q, 4 seats up front, power sofa in the rear. And then we had, I think those were the only 2 floor plans. So we were accustomed to the power sofa and that feature being something that we wanted to implement in as many floor plans as possible.
Okay.
Our customers, after a while, I learned that we're really good at 55 and older. I need to get some things a little bit younger, some fit and finish details a little bit. Bass wants aluminum and modern, and you know what? I've heard this from existing customers too. So it's not that you're alone in this. When I first started, the gallery was a good product. It was a great product, well put together. However, it lacked some luster on the inside. So we had a lot of, so a couple things that I changed. We added a high gloss to all the cabinet doors. It was very matted, not a high sheen. So I wanted to get some of that modern look, and what's modern? Shiny, bright.
Yep.
So we dressed that up.
Aluminum.
Yep, aluminum. And then, so the CrossFit product was slow to take off. We got sued. We had to change the name to Beyond because we got sued by the CrossFit company. So I hung up the phone with the lawyers. I said, I'm so beyond litigation and lawyers. The society is going nuts with all this litigious activity. I was like, Beyond. It's like, Beyond it is. I told my boss what it was going to be, and he's an old school marketer. And he goes, this is the worst name I've ever heard. And it's kind of ironic. Dean
this
was
day 3, right?
Yeah. This was
day 2 changed everything. Day 3,
this is about a year. This is about a year later, but still early on. And $750. They wanted me to pay us to pay $750,000 to keep the name, and it just wasn't worth it. And then now you can go. Dean Sivas just texted me a picture. There's a new cruise line called Beyond, and it's almost in the same graphics as us. So I'm not going to sue them. We're going to just take the high road. So one of the other questions you got here coming off this is shortages. So what are some of the shortages?
Yeah, so that's what I get into. So I want to ask you about, because I know there's a lot of, and I was one of the people that was very angry when I got my Nova, and then I had some issues and I wanted to go in, and I called every single service center, every single dealer, and they were like, 3 to 6 months, and we'll take a look at it, and then maybe another 2 months to get it fixed. So because I know everybody has this, there are people pissed off, and it's not Coachman's fault, right? It's not you guys are the ones doing these shit, but why is there a 2 to 6 month wait time at the dealer? I want to ask that question, and then we'll talk about your guys' shortages, the experiences, what you like, what's the rims, the awnings, how that's affecting potential new buyers, and how that's affecting the guys that are trying to get their damn van serviced.
So what is going on out in the field? I don't like to hear any of this. I do not like to hear any of this. And I don't like to say this either. And I'm not hiding at all, but a lot of things changed during COVID. Number one, we're shipping record numbers right now that have never been seen. Number one, when you coop the human species up for 2 years or a year or 6 months, they went out, right? And we were one of them. We were a major outlet outside of boats, water. I mean, the outdoor rec industry exploded after the first 8 months. I mean, it was already trending up, but you should see it now. I mean, everything outdoor is going through the roof. In this county right now, you couldn't find a 4-wheeler for sale. I mean, you just can't find anything outdoors. So the demand increased. My segment has increased 30% every year, the Class B segment, since I've been around, which is remarkable. The demand is insane right now. So we've got a heck of a lot more customers. We're not necessarily building more dealers, and we're not really necessarily producing more techs in the field. So you and I talked about a little tech initiative that we do back here through RVIA, and we're trying to get as many people here trained up, and then they can go anywhere else. A lot of the dealers lost good people. Okay, major labor
shortages.
Labor shortages. We're at 2% unemployment here.
That's unheard of. But
that's here.
Indiana here. That's an anomaly. That's not.
And that's in northern Indiana. And So we lost a lot of techs. A lot of guys went, you know, the
RV service center techs.
RV service
You
center
guys did
techs.
pretty good with retaining.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. We don't have much turnover, and we're very proud of that. But you know, it affected everybody. And then it seems like people got amnesia on how to run a business and how to run a service center. Meaning, it's like they just, instead of planning and doing it the old way before COVID. This was a little problem before COVID, not as great as a problem it is today. And then we're real fortunate to have a service shop here. I got 2 guys, where another guy's coming to start in May. Last year we serviced about 100 and so vans, about 107 vans. And it's a good, you know, it's a big ask to say, okay, from your selling dealer, he can't get you in for 6 to 8 weeks, you got a trip. Geez, would you mind coming over our way? And thank you to our customers for being willing to do that. And we try to help out and go above and beyond as much as we can. So we are here. Service centers are usually booked out 6 to 8 weeks, just like a dealership. So it's labor. Another part is part shortages. If somebody's van is sitting there where it used to be 2 weeks we could get a part processed, even a tough part to get prior to COVID, now we can't get anything. We just can't get anything. And it's difficult. We got a customer the other day who was griping, I ordered a van at Nova at Tampa show and it's still not here yet. Well, we had to shut down multiple days because we were short awnings. We had to shut down, you know, that's 5 vans we could have built that day. So we're facing a lot of, we're facing a lot back here, and other divisions have it worse. Other GMs are having to go through a lot more hoops than I am, but we have our challenges too. Last week 2 weeks ago, I spent about $7,000 trying to get the 350 amp T fuses. Yep. From California. I wish I'd have sent you to San Diego where we bought them.
I would have brought them up for you.
Yeah, that's where we're buying them. Everything around San Diego and from boating, yacht places, Marine One type places, eco chargers, and we're paying kind of a little bit of premium. Right now, we just found out last week that the container for our linoleum, our traditional linoleum, and this video when you post it's going to serve a good purpose. They can't find the container, and we need to switch a linoleum, and we got to use a different linoleum. So I'm sorry, but I either can build your van with the closest linoleum we got, and it looks sharp, and we'll do a little post through our Facebook communities, or we just shut the plant down. I'm not going to shut the plant down. We got to build. Our backlog and our production schedule is about 40 to 50% sold, meaning it's got a name on it. So we can't really stop. So, but if you're having problems getting service and you feel that you're not getting listened to, in each one of our packets, you've got a welcome letter that says if you've taken your van in, or if you've got a call into the dealership and you have not got a response in 5 days, call us. We can help. These are our customers, we're their customers too, depending on how you look at it day by day. We had an incident this week while you were here. Jason Brewer sent me an email saying, hey, this guy found the letter, reached out to us. Hasn't had any interaction with the dealer. Well, the dealer lost a person that was handling out of the service center. They quit. That was specifically handling this person's file, you know, on his van, yes. And they left and the ball got dropped. So we jump in and, you know, just a simple call from the factory can diffuse a lot. Meaning, okay, somebody is here to listen. And then they wait to see our action, and then we get into action. We start solving problems as quick as we made them for you, and that typically diffuses it. But it's very difficult right now. Now, I know right now getting a B van is difficult. A lot of our customers live in California and they're buying in Florida. We got customers in Illinois, Chicago, driving to Denver.
I bought in Arizona.
I mean, it's happening California. Because the inventory, you're going to where the inventory is, not necessarily your local dealer. And I understand it. It makes it hard, but these are the times, and we've got to adapt to. So
I definitely, that's one thing I wanted to share, because I know you guys kind of followed my little journey and stuff. So I couldn't get service, and I definitely reached out to not Nick directly, but Bill and Brandon with the customer service. And these guys jumped on it right away. And like I keep saying over and over, like a broken record, the customer service that I got from Coachmen Class-B, right? And again, it's different over there. I've never had an experience like that before. And even, you know, I know that not everybody has the ability to do a cross-country trip from Florida, from California. I was fortunate enough, and my job that I had some time off, and I was able to do that. But even without that, one thing you guys don't know is Nick, Brandon, Bill, they're like, hey, if you can't make it out here, let us know. We'll work with you. We'll find you a dealer. We'll get you in there. We'll get this expedited for you.
Call in a favor too.
And that's the thing that it is. Like, you know, I've had, you guys saw, I've had a bad experience with a dealer. I'm not going to mention them. It's already been mentioned. And I went to a lot of dealerships in California, and most of them, it wasn't the greatest experience. So if you guys are having those kinds of experiences, reach out directly to Coachmen. They are here to help, and that's what I experienced, stuff like that. So do that. One thing I think people are concerned about, which was my concern too, is you know, you have this warranty that comes with your product, the year warranty. With these wait times of 2 to 6 months, I think a lot of people are concerned, you know, because you go to these dealers and like, well, you know, there's going to be things you're going to have to get fixed. And even the smallest thing, a fuse, a screw here, might be backlogged for 6 months. Now, I'm exaggerating, but that can be a thing. So what people are concerned about their warranties and stuff.
You mentioned Abe, and Abe doesn't. Abe had a awning issue towards the end of his ownership that kind of tabled him for a couple weeks, right? He just, so through communication, Abe doesn't know this, but what did I say end of last week, beginning of this week?
You said you're gonna take that warranty.
Hey, we're gonna bump his warranty. We're gonna get him in, and we're gonna do the right thing. Vass was talking about warranty the other day. Why do people offer 2, 3, 1? You know, what is it? Well, I'm going to take care of you. That's what I'm going to say. We've got a 1 year, but I'm going to take care of you. Our NovaCool, 3 year. Roof vent,
Lithium
2
5
year.
year.
Lithium 5. You know, so we do have. We're an upfitter. We're not building sidewalls. We're not building slide outs. So, and again, you know, we just went through COVID. Some of you folks have not been able to use your van because you're immune compromised, which is, we don't want you using your van. We want you safe. We want you being responsible. And there's some customers that for part shortages because we can't get an awning. We don't want the customer driving around with the damaged awning, however it got damaged. And if we can't replace the awning because of COVID shipping issues and container issues and freight issues, we got to step up to the plate and help the customer out. And you know, you take a service issue and turn it into a sales opportunity. And I mean that in the best way. I don't mean that like a used car salesman. You know, when we get interaction with the customers, it's a family member that you didn't know you had, and you want to take care of them, and that's the way I look at it. We're going to take care. I say this all the time, and over and over in the videos. We're a customer service division that just so happens to build Class Bs, and we all do it because we have these personal experiences in our past of where we're like, you know, how did this dealership, this car dealership handle it? How could they possibly have messed this situation up? Treated me like complete crap, or handled it the wrong way, or there was no follow-up communication. I told the team, let's take all these experiences we've had in the past that have irked us, made us twitch, and let's build a story around it and actually do it. Let's do it better than anybody else. And you know, I think we're doing a good job, and we're going to continue to push and be better. You know, it's a crazy world out there.
It is.
And we want to understand one of the things in daily life, you know, when you pick up that phone, you never know what that other person's going through. Before we created another problem for them, they might have had a death in the family earlier in the week, and then they got to deal with my van that I built them, right? And you got to be appreciative of it. And in this world of this, I prefer that with the cord, the one with the cord.
And in my experience, Nick isn't just giving lip service. I mean, everybody that I met here at the Coachmen Class-B plant and stuff, the most genuine interactions. These guys truly care. And again, like I said, when I originally came out here, I was fully intent, like, I'm getting this thing fixed and I'm getting rid of it. And now I mean, Rollo's wearing a Coachmen thing. I'm wearing a Coachmen thing. You know, I am a true believer in Coachmen Class-B and the ownership that they take in their product, the pride they take in their product. They are constantly trying to improve. I mean, all these issues that I've talked about in the video, you know, these guys have a plan. It's on their books. They're working on it right now. They're going to rectify the stuff, and that's why I decided to stay with, you know, Coachmen Class-B. I'm always going to say that, you know, Coachmen Class-B. There's a difference. So yeah, that was my experience with that.
And you know, one of your other major concerns is electrical, and you're not the only one. And I might be going out of order here.
No, we're going to segue. That was the next segue.
But I got real frustrated when you were here the first time, and it was the culmination of my frustrations. And I even introduced you to my electrical department, the group leader. He was frustrated. You know, the wiring is something I want to address. It's it's going to have to happen in phases, and we are in the process right now of adding on some equipment to start addressing the wire harnesses inside.
So you guys going to do like pre-made wiring harnesses?
We want to do them. We want to do them inside. Here's a wire cutter that can cut 4, 2. I mean, the biggest gauges we got. So I think we feel that that's the best way. And Jeremy, one of our electrical engineers, is from a wire harness manufacturer. So I think we'll be able to make this happen. And
awesome.
And we haven't had a wire harness manufacturer that we can rely on, and we've had to make some unfortunate shortcuts. But again, I got to keep my people working. You know, these shortages and these suppliers not being able to keep up right now. We've got a container in Chicago and a container in California where our tires, our Nova black rims are at. We had Vision, and now we're on to a different brand. Our awnings, we're short about 40 awnings. We were supposed to get black. They sent us silver. It's just
one thing after the next.
It's just one thing after the next. So we're fighting through shortages. Chassis are coming in pretty decent. Ford's having some issues with chips that's pretty well broadcasted on the airwaves. You were surprised to hear that there's a raceway outside of Louisville, Kentucky that's got probably 1,000 F-150, 250, 350 sitting there waiting for chips. Ford just announced that they will be shipping all their Explorers, but they're going to ship them without chips, and they will get the chips to you when they can, and you'll just plug the chip in, and now you'll get your sensors on your mirrors, and then the next time you'll come in for a chip, you'll get a readout on your dash you didn't get before. So
it's real.
It's real.
It's not just you guys.
It's real, and we just got a plan, and then the frustrating part is typically that plan fails in about an hour. And you got to make another plan and another plan, but you just keep on fighting. We got to build these vans the right way because we want you guys traveling. We want you out enjoying this amazing tool of a Class B. And it's the you know, you had your Leatherman out the other day. The Class B is the Leatherman or Swiss Army knife of the RV industry, and I really believe that's why we're seeing these 30% increases. It's bringing new buyers in, not our typical buyers. And it's great. It's great to see it grow, and it's amazing to see how many new RV buyers that are coming into the industry through the Class B avenue, and that's a big responsibility, and we take that serious. The last thing I want you guys to do is say that Recchio, that Nick Recchio over there, the Coachman, we're going to go buy a cabin. Well, I don't want that to happen. We build Class Bs. We don't want you to go buy a boat. And we're working every day to get better, and it's every day, and we get a lot of feedback. We get a lot. I mean, there's 10, 15 projects going on right now that we're testing, and are we using the right application today? Let's look at this. We'll do our legwork. Now it's not quite there. Quite there. Last time you were out, you mentioned you saw in a video, maybe I think, where I spoke on lizard skin, or you asked me about.
I asked you about lizard skin.
And I had investigated lizard skin with my paint department. Well, while in between your last trip and this trip, we had a company come over that's a lizard skin type product, and we sprayed up a door, and we sprayed up the rails of a Class C to see which department it can work for, which division it can work for. So we're constantly sniffing around stuff to get better.
You guys take the customer concern seriously. You guys do investigate. It's not just lip service, like I said.
Oh yeah, no, it's you know, we got a lot more eyes and ears in the field than we do here.
Yeah. So we just segued into some of the issues. This is the more aggressive part of the Q&A. But again, you don't see a lot of this where you can sit down with a GM of whatever company and ask them, hey, this is the issues, and that I think is part of the whole extreme ownership that I've encountered with you guys, and I do appreciate it. I think the customers and all the viewers are going to appreciate it because this is rare.
Yeah.
You know?
No, it's something I enjoy doing. Is it a big responsibility? Are there things to be done? Yeah. But the customer's king, and if I'm not talking, if you're a GM or whoever you are, and you're not talking to your customers, you will fail. You will fail. You will lose that connection. You'll lose the drive. The minute you lose that passion for the customer, or you don't witness the passion the customer has for the product that you built, you're gonna miss out. You're gonna miss out.
Yep.
And I'm terrified of losing. I am so afraid of losing, and that's a big or failing. That's a huge driver for me. I mean, you know, nobody wants to fail.
No, they don't.
If you fail at your job, it's not good.
No.
You know.
So I got a couple more things that I wanted to kind of run by you, and just because we've talked about it, right, and you've explained it to me, but I just want everybody to hear from you. So another one of the gripes that I had was, I think, again, you guys have the best interior. Everybody else uses that stupid cheap sticker stuff or the plasticky stuff. It just felt cheap, you know. The price tag on these units, from when I was touring the dealerships and stuff like that, was not always resembling of the product that you were looking at. It didn't look like a 100, 150, $200,000 product when I looked at a lot of these manufacturers. But when I stepped into a Coachmen product, I instantly was taken back. I was like, oh, this looks good. This looks like quality. Look at this real wood and stuff like that. But my gripe was, you know, you guys have the best interior, in my opinion. But every single Nova that I looked at, I would have these crooked, you know, doors and stuff with these hinges that had little detents, you know. So why are things like that happening when you guys have the best product, but little things like that would happen to where it would kind of detract from the quality look of that product?
Well, we shouldn't have crooked drawers.
Okay.
That's it.
There it is.
I mean, it's that simple. There's number one, we shouldn't have crooked drawers. Number two, a lot of customers think that there's no way that we can mount the wet storage tip out drawer front,
yes,
like the other drawers.
Correct.
Because it's just not a drawer.
Right?
We can't have a drawer because it will hit the sink. Okay.
That makes sense.
And then we ran into a little situation where if you were to go to the side of your cabinets, you're gonna see about 3/8 of an inch of your drawer side. That is in order to have, we need a little space for the black plastic catch to catch and hold, and to allow for the soft close for both of those to work. Otherwise, we would have done no soft close, but a mechanical catch. We chose to keep, I could have saved $5 a drawer guide, but I still like having that soft close. When that soft close comes in, it activates that positive catch. So those two, the wet storage and the space on the side, that's why that happens this way. Should not be happening. So we're going to take a look at those, but they should be straight. We talk about our cabinets. If we're going to be talking about our cabinets better be perfect.
There it is.
Yep. So that's something we'll make sure Kim and the gang start looking at a little harder.
So big one.
Yep.
LI3.
Yep.
Real world numbers. I know the brochure, you know, I talked about this a lot. We have the brochure that says, you know, you have about 10 hours of AC runtime. Now, I understand that there are a lot of factors that go into that. Humidity, temperature, elevation, you know, whatever else, you know. And then it talks about the recharge rate being 3 hours. I made a video talking about that I was getting about 5 hours of my AC usage in 80-degree weather. I know you guys did a lot of little tweaks and stuff like that, so I'm going to rerun those tests and stuff like that. But what can people realistically expect when we're talking about AC runtime, because that's the main benchmark, the measure and stuff like that, and recharge rate?
Yep. So when we first started, when we first introduced the lithium system, it was in 2018, and it was on with a Dometic AC. Okay, that's the AC we were using back then. And at that time, 80 degrees in Indiana, 80 to 85 degrees in Indiana. Typically, one thing that's different from where you're at and where I'm at, 80 degrees in the San Diego area will have 2% humidity. Here we live for pretty much 3 months out of the year, out of the summer, with about 40% humidity. It's just humid here. So you should be getting some better results with your, and we'll continue to talk about this, but here in Indiana, summertime, 80 to 85 degrees, 40% relative humidity, 110 Dometic AC, 8-hour runtime. Okay. Now, if you were to go, and that's our summer months, so that's June, July, and August. Okay. In that same quarter of months, the same 3 months, if you were to go down to the Florida Keys in June, July, or August, when everybody else is leaving the Keys and coming to North Florida, because it's hot down in the Keys, if you were down in the Keys in the summer, I would say 5 to 6 hours. Okay, if you were to go to Corpus Christi or Houston in the summer, I would say 5 or 6 hours. Now, we found a couple little items in your van that I know you're going to improve at. We have a baffle issue in the AC, and a couple loose connections, and I really think that you're going to be back up and running. The 10 hours, okay? You're right, there is on one of our brochures, not the Nova brochure, but the LI3 breakdown brochure, it does say 10 hours.
With an asterisk.
Yep, with an asterisk. And again, guys, I don't need to tell you that if you go north in June, that your AC is going to run a heck of a lot longer, okay? You know, we're not worried about going north, yes. We're worried about going south. So where did the 10 hours come in? When we first started, I wasn't quite happy with the throwaway, quote unquote, throwaway ACs that are in the industry. I think right now the Coachmen that we use is a fantastic 110 AC. The Dometics, I wasn't a big fan of those. But I wanted something more. I wanted something quieter on the inside. I wanted something more efficient, and that's when we started sniffing around the 12-volt AC. When we did the 12-volt AC, it's far more efficient. It's 12-volt. That's where we could pick up that extra 10, the extra 2 to 10. So your run time here, our ideal goal is for you to be out in San Diego, like the rest of our customers in California, wherever they're at, and in the Southwest, to have an 8-hour run time.
About 80 degree, 80, 90 degree weather, no humidity. Okay, there it is. 8 hours, so I should be getting it.
And you know, we talked about a couple guys that I could put you in touch with that we can, what I'd like to do is put you in touch with a couple LI3 guys, and this is kind of fun. It's, what do you get, where are you at and what are you getting now? Yeah. So, you know, get you a couple of those guys. Numbers. Yep, and then, you know, and then we can work on this, but, you know, that lithium system, in my opinion now, one of your big concerns is recharge time, and you yes. talk about 48 volt. I'm not prepared to go to 48 volt yet. Recharge time is about 20 to 25 to 30% under multiple conditions. You know, there's just one condition on the lithium. You've got your engine, you've got 2 alternators, you got the battery, you got your AC. You know, everything affects that system: water, moisture, temperature, humidity. You know what I mean? Yep. So I know I can't give you absolutes, but 8 hours is typically what we get reporting, and 10 hour and true 10 hours on the 12 volt. Yep. And again, the van can go wherever there's a road or wherever there's dirt. Yep. And if you go to Death Valley, just to high five and drink a wine spritzer and get a selfie real quick and then get out of Death Valley, every AC we bring into this facility gets tested to 130 degree heat booth test. And that's a criteria for me because, you know, we got global warming going on. Not that I disagree with it or anything. I love the environment. I'm a conservationist. But for some reason, it's been 130 degrees in Death Valley since 1974. That's the hottest temperature in the U.S. since 1974, 130 degrees. Not 135, not 110. So we take that because we know our customers want to go see Death Valley. So we push our ACs, but we make sure we do the proper testing. We got a heat booth chamber right down the road in Goshen, Indiana, that we use, an engineering firm, and we beat these up pretty good. You know, I think you're going to see big improvement in your system, because I think a lot of this had to do with the error we made with the AC. Because if your AC is just pumping and pumping, and the boot that makes sure that no air is going anywhere else, if you're pushing cold air out, your AC is just driving home all that power, and I think we're losing some power too. So, and we had a couple connections loose, and again, it's going back to better quality control on those electrical items, because that lithium system's not like a drawer. That lithium system's for the dog, for you, the lithium system's got to be reliable.
For him,
yeah. No, I mean, these are $130,000 to $160,000 dog houses in most cases, and our conversations daily are around animals.
Yep.
I mean, okay, so in this scenario, the pet owner is going to do that. I mean, it's all based, 80% of it's based around the animal, and and they deserve it. They deserve it. So.
I agree. So yeah, I'm going to rerun those tests, and I'll give you guys some real world numbers. I'll give you guys the real world numbers, and we'll see what happens. So cool. Moving on to the next thing, right? So again, I already said I think you guys build the most beautiful, major manufacturer Class B vans. Beyond, Galleria, Nova. That's my opinion, right? But one thing that irked me, right, when I step in this Nova, I have this beautiful van build. When I turn around, I see, all the other manufacturers, they went with like the nicer Ram steering wheel. They have these nice center console floor mats that cover up that utility van look. The nicer head unit and stuff like that, to where you don't have all these problems. Why did you guys not go that route to kind of, give that, you guys are 95%, give it that 5% more to just complete that look?
I don't know the complete backstory on the steering wheel, and when we...
Could be a supply issue, maybe?
Well, I don't... I think what we did is I think we decontented our first year of when we ordered for the 2000, that would have been 2019, that would have been 2019 chassis. When we ordered, we went a little bit on the cheaper side. We didn't equip it the way maybe we should have. Now, we took a look at another chassis that's here on the ground that's a Dodge, and now it's got the leather.
Oh, now they're not. The new chassis are pretty fantastic.
So we learned a little lesson. When we first started, we always spec'd out our Mercedes somewhat heavy, with options. And then in the early days with Ford, we spec'd them out somewhat light, price spread.
Gotcha.
And then we learned, we offered rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive in Ford. Well, we're not offering rear-wheel drive anymore. We had EcoBoost and non-EcoBoost at one time. We're not offering non-EcoBoost anymore, and Ford's not building non-EcoBoost. So we've learned we've kind of grown up a little bit, went through a little learning curve. And again, we don't need to, there's no need to feel sorry for that ProMaster chassis. We need to dress it up. It's a solid chassis, and the more I'm around it, I learn what we can do with it, as far as how we can build differently in it, how there's so much more usable space. So
okay.
Yep.
So, and I think also, we talked about it, but for your Nova customers, I think Nick has some stuff in the works in the future to dress up the stuff and add a couple more things in there that you guys are going to be happy with. So I'll let Nick disclose that when the time is right, but there is stuff coming down the pipe.
Yep.
Last one. This is a gripe that I had. Solar panel position. Why you guys have the roof rack. Love the roof rack. I personally, me being a military guy, professional LARPer, somebody, I like to have, storage on the roof. Why not take those solar panels, get the little skinnier 100 watts, put them up front with the max air vent, and free up that space back there for people to use that storage next to the ladder? What was the thought process behind that?
Well, since you're my youngest customer,
humble brag.
Since you're our youngest customer, we don't have a lot of. I'm good at 55, right?
Okay.
So even the draw of the roof rack, the running boards, and the black wheels, you share that same. A typical. My 55-year-old customer loves that look too. You always talk about that. You just love that.
I do love it.
So we got.
Abe loves it. He's not 36. Okay. My neighbor, he loves it.
So we got a little collision. We got a little collision going on here of styles and tastes,
understood.
And how the tool, the Leatherman, the Swiss Army knife used. you're active. Do I want a 60-year-old man climbing around the way I saw you climb around your roof rack with your Pelican cases? Not necessarily. You're one of my only customers that have those up there. So now, yesterday I met with a solar guy that says, look, now we can do
the skinny ones.
The skinny ones. And so, you know, it all starts with a need. It all starts with feedback.
Learning curve, yeah.
And I didn't say, that's the first time you've ever heard me say you're the only one that has. I rarely ever say that. But I guarantee you there's more out there like you.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think you'd see a lot
yep.
more Pelican cases
so,
up there if
yep.
that space was
yep.
clear.
Yep. So yes, there's something we need to address there. You've talked about one thing that you and I don't think see eye to eye on. I know why you want it, but I know you like the fixed glass raised panels.
Yeah, they seem to be
I really
more
love.
efficient.
Yep, and
they last a lot longer.
I love the flexible technology, and that technology's growing. I just showed you something in the truck.
You did. Pretty cool stuff.
Yep. So I'm not going to disagree with you right now. Probably the best glass panel mounted up there, and the best fixed. You're probably right. You're probably going to get a little. You're going to probably get a little bit more, but I need that flex panel. I just need that panel to flex. Now, if somebody comes up with something and comes up with the latest and greatest glass panel that fits our application, I'm not going to sit there and say I'm only a flex panel guy. I'm not going to look at it. No, that's ridiculous. You got to look at everything. But I want to wait for some of this tech. This meeting this week really piqued my interest quite a bit, and nice. I think we might be stumbling onto something that we can use both ways.
It was some pretty cool technology. Nick gave me a little sneak peek about it, so we'll see what happens. But you guys are considering freeing up the back of that roof rack. Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's good news for you guys.
Yep.
Okay. Last thing. This isn't really a gripe, but I know we talked about these, and I think they may have fixed this on the new ProMaster chassis. But one of my biggest concerns on this ProMaster chassis was the headlights. They're absolutely atrocious. That's not your guy. You guys didn't build the headlights, but. Adding maybe some kind of an auxiliary port somewhere in the van so guys can add a light bar. Again, you said I am the youngest customer, but
while he is not my youngest Beyond customer, he has his tastes are much like a very young 36-year-old Gardner Snyder, Camping Coastie. We brought him up.
Yes.
Gardner texted me last year and, hey Nick, how do you like my new lights? And he's got this really cool light bar, brush guard. You know, you don't have to be 36 to enjoy those aftermarket accessories.
Or to enjoy some good lighting.
Or to,
in a national parks trail.
Yep. So I really, we got to watch everything we're putting on a van right now. Number one, can we get it?
Yes.
And number two, the price that I'm buying at today, where am I going to be buying it at next year? We just got a price increase on our Dometic 3-burner gas top. 12% increase, not a 1.2%, not a 2.1, a 12% increase. That's crazy. So we're dealing with this a lot. I feel terrible for the towable guys, what they're going through. They're going through skyrocketing price increases. We are having price increases, but a lot of our stuff that we use isn't used widely through the industry on a repetitive basis, like 50 of these per unit, and we're running 50 trailers a day. But the towable guys, and they've been crushed with price increase, and it's been sad. Hopefully it's coming down.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good way to segue into, it's always like, the bad stuff is what always sticks out of people, but I want to also talk about the stuff that I love about the snowmobile, because it's not all bad. If it was all bad, I wouldn't have kept it. Again, my opinion, I think this is the best ProMaster Class-B from a major manufacturer that I've ever seen. I love it.
I think we've addressed, we're not just checking the boxes. I think everything has a story, and it's been thought out. Why did we use Cozy Wrap? Why did we use rock wool? Why did we use Q foam? Why did we use Nova Cool? Why do we use a shower miser? Why do we use the vinyl, the very expensive marine grade vinyl that's pre-backed with foam versus just a wood panel? Again, we're a lot alike our competitors, but our street starts turning. You know what I mean?
It's very evident, yeah.
I appreciate all the feedback. You've come with a ton of ideas, and they're good ideas. And you know, ideas are what makes us a heck of a lot better.
And I just wanted to, you know, just list some of the things that I truly enjoy about it. Right? We talk about cabinets. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Everybody loves your guys' cabinets, but they're also very sturdy. They're very well built. Fantastic. The industry does not have that, right? You don't guys have this little wood sticker thing that peels off to make it look like wood. Love that, right? The C model is amazing. It's just, for me, the ease of use of it. It goes from an office with a couch to a bedroom. Ever you push a button, it's a bedroom. You push another button, it's an office.
And then one of my favorite pictures that I see you post, or not post, but that you've texted, is it, and then it turns into the most amazing balcony ever.
Yes.
Those you know.
Oh yeah, when I'm on the beach.
Yeah, but
we're in the national park, and I got a little Rollo sitting right there, and I'm drinking my coffee. It's amazing.
It's also a balcony, and it's just killer. It's just killer. What
it's absolutely fantastic, and I definitely love it. Do you think you were going to see other manufacturers coming out with their C version?
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Okay,
just wondering. That's fine.
But you guys are the original.
Flat. What you know? I'm not going to sit back here and say I've never copied anybody's idea. And,
like you said, if it's a good idea, why not? Right?
Imitation's the best form of flattery, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
Am I getting that close?
Something like that.
But if you're going to copy something, make it better.
Absolutely.
You know, make it better.
You know, I love. I think this ProMaster is the only one you got. And again, you guys kind of took a chance on it. You made it look a little more rugged. Everybody paints that black plastic, kind of makes it look a little more refined. I call it, because I'm a little younger, I call it the mom soccer man, the mom soccer van look. I love the rugged. I love the black rims. I love the roof rack. You know, it's the only product outside, if you go to like the Rebels and stuff, and those Mercedes offer, but for the ProMaster, I freaking love that. The fridge, it's amazing. You know, I have Rollo, and you know, him being an English bulldog, he eats better than I do, so he has to have his little frozen raw meats, all this stuff. And when I'm in this van, I don't feel like I'm working out of a little cooler, like a little Yeti cooler. I feel like I have a full fridge, I have a full freezer, and I can actually live out of this thing.
Yeah, and you don't have to go, I've got a day and a half that I've got to go get, I got to stop at the grocery store. Another day and a half. You got a week's worth of food there.
Yep.
I mean, and then some. So I love that fridge. Novacool's a great relationship. That's an incredible refrigerator.
I have no complaints about it. And of course, the last thing is, is your guys, I keep saying it, is your guys' customer service. The ownership that you guys took, right? The way you guys have treated me, and talking to your other customers, what I see, and you know, I came in here last week, so I've been hanging around you guys for the last 2 weeks almost, and I see you guys interact with customers. It's definitely, I feel like, a lost art in today's world, and you don't get this kind of interaction with a lot of companies. And your guys' ownership, your guys' desire to keep growing and take on board the things that your customers say it's a rare thing. And like I said, if anybody's considering a Class B from major manufacturing, nobody's perfect out there right now, but I say definitely consider Coachmen Class-B, because these guys will bend over backwards to make it right for you if it's not, and they will be there when you guys need them. So
you know, these aren't inexpensive toys. This is a major investment, and we respect that greatly. We hope to get there someday. Also, a lot of it has to do with where we're from. We're from Middle America, out in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, and we just don't know how to do it any other way. You know, hospitality, wanting to take care of your neighbor. It's kind of just what we are around here. So you know, it's kind of simple. You just do the right thing, even if you made a mistake. Just always do the right thing.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, brother. I think we're gonna wrap it up right here. I appreciate you, and I think I'm glad to call you up right now, brother.
Oh, absolutely, and just thank you for your time in doing this. You know, I don't look at any of this as negative. This is constructive. We got to have these conversations all day, every day, because if you don't have these tough conversations, you're missing. So this is all constructive, and learning a lot through all the relationships with our customers and you. So it's been a blessing. Appreciate it.
We'll see you guys next video.
Thank you. Appreciate it.